Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today's Tuesday, June the 16th, 2020. It is 6:30 p.m. and we're at the RGCCISD Phase Center located at Fort Ringgold, Rio Grande City, Texas. I'm going to call this meeting to order. I'm going to do roll call. Mr. Ramirez.
Present.
Mr. Castillo.
Present.
Mr. Villarreal.
Present.
Dr. B.
Here.
Mrs. Lopez.
Here.
And Eleazar Velasquez, myself, present as well. Mr. Ramirez, can you help me with the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes, sir. I pledge
I
allegiance
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Ramirez.
You're welcome.
Section 3, approval of minutes for regular board meeting, May the 12th, 2020. Do we have a motion on section 3?
I move that we approve the minutes as presented in our board packet.
We have a motion by Mr. Villarreal. Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Castillo. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Public forum, nothing. Section 5, item number 1, recognitions. 2020 honorary high school diploma issued to Mrs. Betty Lou Landon Salas, class of 1953.
Yes, we're recognizing Ms. Betty Lou Landon Salas. She was would have graduated in the class of 1953, but because of getting married, I think it was her senior year in high school because her husband was in the military, she had to relocate and was not able to finish her senior year. So we are issuing her an honorary diploma. She has also been very involved in the donation of items to the school district as far as historical memorabilia. And she has been working closely with the committee in donating and securing some of these items and also providing some historical information. So at this time, we would like to honor her with an honorary high school diploma that is being issued to her. We FedExed her cap and gown and we sent her a commemorative diploma. It's not the actual diploma, but it is a commemorative diploma that has her name, and it was signed by Ms. Garza and it was sent to her, and that is Ms. Betty Lou Landon Salas.
Congratulations.
Very good.
Congratulations. She wanted to zoom in, but because of the COVID-19, she's in a retirement home and they won't allow anyone to visit her. So she sent us her picture so that we could, see her and actually acknowledge her presence in our board meeting.
Very nice.
Thank you, Ms. Morris.
Thank you. Section 6, recommending approving the consent agenda. The board has agreed to discuss the following items.
Mr. President, I would like to make a motion to approve item 2, item 3, item 4, item 6, item 7, item 8, item 9, item 10, item 11, item 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 as presented in our board packet. And 21, and including the addendums that were presented by Mr. Salinas a little while ago.
I second the motion.
Item 7 does not require any action. Did you mention item 7?
I think they changed item 7.
This is a new item 7 on the addendum, Mr. President.
Yes, we just learned that we have to post it for 30 days before it becomes approved
Oh,
by
yes.
the board, so we need no action on that one.
Well, take away item 7.
On the, just for clarification, the number 7 on the addendum.
On
because
the
Not the
addendum.
old, not the old agenda.
Correct, on the addendum.
Okay.
So let me take away from the motion I just made, item 7, since it does not need more action.
Did you mention item number 5, Mr. Villarreal, or?
I did not mention 5 or 12. No, sir.
What?
5 or 12?
Everything else was mentioned.
We have a motion by Mr. Villarreal to approve all items except 9 and 12.
5 and 12.
I mean, sorry, 5 and 12. And second by Mr. Castillo. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Item number 5, consider and take possible action on annual financial report due date extension waiver. Do we have a motion on item 5?
I move to accept this item as presented.
We have a motion by Dr. B. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second by Mrs. Lopez. Any discussion?
Ms. Robles?
I was requesting permission to submit a waiver to TEA. Due to the pandemic, TEA is granting extensions to districts that have a June 30th fiscal year. And I was just submitting this request just in case we had any issues with the increased cases that we have in our community. So I am respectfully asking permission to submit this waiver to TEA, just like we have submitted all the other waivers. Thank you.
We have a motion by Dr. B, a second by Mrs. Lopez. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, raise your left hand. Motion dies. Item 12, consider and take possible action on request for permission to submit a waiver for use of alternate K and 7th grade reading instruments due to COVID-19 to the Texas Education Agency for the 2020-2021 school year. Do we have a motion on item 12?
I move to accept this item as presented.
We have a motion by Dr. B. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second by Mrs. Lopez. Any discussion?
Ms.
Oh.
Morris?
You want me to discuss?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this item basically is we are requesting for a waiver for the TA to grant us permission to use an alternate assessment for our kinder and 7th grade reading. Because of the COVID situation, we are asking to use the current reading program that we have in place so that we don't have to move. The state is requiring in 2021, basically this year, they're requiring that we use certain software that they deem is appropriate for diagnosing early reading readiness. And they're, for kindergarten, for example, it's CLI and Amplify. And then for 7th grade, it's another group of approved vendors. What we are asking permission is that due to COVID, that we would use our local instrument that we have in place to do the same thing. And then in 2021, 2022, we would initiate what the state is asking us to use, which is those 2 programs that I mentioned earlier. And I attached that, I think, to the item when I submitted it for approval.
We have a, thank you, Mrs. Morris. We have a motion by Dr. B, a second by Mrs. Lopez. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, raise your left hand. Motion dies. Anything under reports? Ms. Garza?
On reports, number 7 has to be discussed.
Discuss district's property value.
Ms. Robles?
Indicator
20 of the School First asks and requires school board members to discuss the district property values at a board meeting within 120 days before the district adopts its budget. What you see there, it's just a table, and you will see historical fiscal year 2019, current year fiscal year 2020, and budget fiscal year 2021. Property values on that first line, it's what it's being used for local collections. And right now, we do have a preliminary value that we're using this year of $1,096,905,644. And that is just a slight increase from the certified appraised value from last year. We're looking at a rate of 0.9989. And I just want to mention that this year, the tax rate will be set by TEA. In the month of July, we will be submitting a survey with the certified appraised values provided by the Stark County Appraisal District, and TEA will then calculate a rate. Local collections also are projected to be at $10,737,851, and this is based on that M&O tax rate of 99.89 cents. Property values used for state calculations, and these are the T2 values used by TEA to provide us the state aid. And this year, we're projecting at $1,278,632,702. And we are estimating this value because these values are not provided until they are certified by the state comptroller, and that will not be until the end of August of 2021. Thank you.
I have a question, ma'am. Can you differentiate between property values and minerals? How have minerals been affected? How much did they go down? How much did they go up, or where are they at? Minerals.
I haven't seen all the.
When I say minerals, oil, gas, and things of that nature, that is usually a big part of our, what do you call it, our property values. So can you give us an idea or perspective of where they are at?
Okay, right now, the mineral and utility value for M&O, it's at $338,801,105. And the INS, it's different because of the Chapter 313 limitations that we have, and that is valued at $959,636,584. And those are the mineral values. Right now, these are the certified estimated taxable values. So that was just a slight increase from the final values of last year.
So
Final values usually go up, and we have not been provided with that, and that usually happens until the end of July.
So our mineral values are $338 million? Would they be
Yes.
right? What were they?
For M&O purposes.
Yeah. What were they last year?
What were they last year? I don't have that figure with me, sir.
Next question. I know we have a bunch of windmills that we approved many, many years ago. When do they get into the tax rolls, could I ask?
When do they what, sir?
When do the windmills get back into the tax rolls? I know they were abatements that were given, correct? Do you know when they come back online for taxation? Windmills we abated taxes, the county and the school district for a number of years. Do you know how many more years we have left on the first project by any chance?
It
On
was
those windmills?
for 10 years, and I believe we still have 7 more years, if I am not mistaken.
Can you check that for us or for me? I'd like to find out.
What was that? I'm sorry.
When are the first set of windmills going to go off the abatements and going to taxation?
If you can get him that information, Diana.
Yeah. You know, the windmills, that we gave them an abatement, so did the county, for a number of years. I think you said 10 years. How many years
Yes.
are still left on that contract? That's what I'd like to know.
Yes, I believe we're about 7 more years to go, sir.
Okay, check it out. I think it's less than that, but can you get me that information?
Yes, I will get that to you, sir.
Thank you.
Ms. Garza, I need to present on the SB House Bill 3834 real quick.
Go ahead, Mr. Saenz.
Okay, as per House Bill 3834, I need to present to the board members a real quick explanation as to what it is. Basically, SB 3834 requires all staff from an educational entity, such as Rio Grande City CISD, that have access to a computer and a valid school email to take some form of cybersecurity training. Staff includes paras, clerks, secretaries, all school administration like counselors, librarians, deans, principals, assistants, and of course, district administration, including board members. Our district has 1,387 staff members that fall into this category. We partnered with Region 1 Service Center and obtained a solution from a company called InfoSec IQ. The cybersecurity training consisted of 13 videos and an assessment at the completion of the videos that each staff member needed to complete in a set period of time in order to be compliant. It is my pleasure to present to you that all 1,387 staff members have successfully completed the cybersecurity modules, and RGCCISD is in full compliance of House Bill 3834, and I have already submitted the certification to the state. So I had to report that to you all so you could have an idea how many people were tested, and we are in full compliance. So thank you, every single staff member that took the modules, including you, the board members. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Saenz. Okay, it is now 6:48. Under authority of the Texas Government Code, Section 551.071-551.084, we're now headed to closed session. It is now 7:13, and we're back in open session. Item A does not require any action.
Mr. President, I move that we approve item B and C as discussed in closed session.
We have a motion by Mr. Villarreal. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Ramirez. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. Section 10, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Villarreal. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Castillo. All in favor, raise your right hand. Motion carries. It is now 7:14, and we're done with this board.
Mr. Ramirez, you want to take it? It's fajita.